On 102.4 FM, across Rotherham, online, on your mobile, and on your smart speaker. This is Redroad FM.
Listeners, it's 102.4 FM, Redroad FM radio, Hobson's Choice tonight. I'm joined by my good friends in Perfectparachutepicture. It's great to have you guys featuring on the show again. How have you been? How's 2021 going?
Yeah, it's all right, mate. Yeah, we're quite busy, aren't we? How are you doing? You've been good?
Yeah, all good here, mate. I say it's just great to be back doing live shows again. It's been 15 months or whatever doing pre-records. I mean, live shows all around really, because you must be itching to do more live shows, having already done your first live show since like the pandemic hit recently, haven't you?
Yeah, well, we played a gig in Hull, the Adelphi, the new Adelphi club, and it was a seated show, so obviously we weren't sure how that was going to go down, but it was amazing, wasn't it? It was just good to be in a venue again and having a live audience, not just having some cameras pointed at you.
It did seem like a lot of bands utilised the obviously within the pandemic to do like more live streaming shows, which I can only imagine is extremely different to doing an actual live show. How did you find that whole side of doing live shows during the pandemic?
Yeah, it's weird, but like we really enjoyed like the process of it and just sort of doing something a bit different. And we really didn't envision that we were going to be doing something like that, obviously, just before the pandemic happened and all that. So it was nice to have something to work to, like in sort of a live sense, rather than sort of just writing and recording at that point and sort of performing music videos, that kind of stuff. So yeah, we really enjoyed doing it, and the content that we got out of it was really good, and the response, and it was all positive, really. So yeah, we would certainly be up for doing stuff like that again, but it doesn't substitute for a live crowd, which is what we're looking forward to getting back to, hopefully, over in the next few weeks.
Yeah, no, it was. I think we spoke. I think it was June last year. Sorry, when we were kind of in and out of lockdowns. And I think we touched upon the home sets that you were doing, the kind of studio recording versions of your tracks, and how well they were going down. Building up to obviously doing this live show that you did in Hull, were you just like so psyched to be able to play these new tracks that you've been working on during the pandemic?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously we've released what seems to us like a lot of music that no one's heard live, obviously, and we were sort of a little bit nervous as to what people might think, playing those new songs live, but they went down so well. And then people at the gig obviously were just wanting more, like people it's been over a year since people have been at a gig, and we got to the end of the set and people were just like, no, we're not leaving, come on, we want some more songs, so we played them a brand new song that we've not even started work on properly yet, and just people just went nuts, which obviously fills you with confidence to get back out there. Like, we're playing a show in Sheffield at Sydney Matilda in October, and we're just looking forward to just being in a room full of people again, Yeah.
Are you still looking at doing, because obviously we wouldn't have been able to do it during the seated gig, but you're quite notorious for getting in the crowd, aren't you? And rocking out amongst the audience members. How is that? Do you reckon we'll be able to do that come October? Do you reckon that'll be back? Because you must have missed that when you were doing the seated gig.
Well, what I would say personally is if people just buy a ticket and then they come and see what happens.
There we go. I like that. Like, tease. I'm not giving anything away, but like.
In other words, it's going to happen.
No, I just thought I'd ask because it's such a great like part of the show. That's all. It's kind of when I think about going to a Perfect Parachute gig, I'm always like, it's going to be a great evening, but also I just love the way that you just like to jam out with us. It feels like I said, like a unit almost, like one big family. So it's I can't wait for that gig, Sydney Matilda. Obviously, it just must be so thrilling a little bit we're at a stage now, in this pandemic and everything, where we are able to look forward to live shows again. And I can't wait to hear these new tracks live, because as I've said, you've had this year's already been pretty exciting with 2021. You've just released a new a brand new EP entitled White Walls, if regular listeners haven't already known, since I've been plugging it for however long. But how has the reaction been to that?
Yeah, I mean, it's gone down really well, and like all the tracks have been received really well, and I feel like we really stepped it up with the production of the track, and we've added like some more layering with synths and stuff that we were able to then reproduce live with the help of a sample pad and that kind of stuff. And it's just really pushed us forward as like not really songwriters, but more just like how we actually record, and being able to realize like adding more layers is just going to make the sound much bigger. And I think we're getting really good at sort of piecing a track together now, rather than just sort of getting something down and playing it. We actually think about it more, and it creates more of like we always like describe it as like a sonically powerful piece, like if you want to be like a bit posh about it. But it's just gone really well, and the track's been really well received, like I say, and hopefully we can just keep producing more good music that people really like.
Yeah, and I think that sort of in a weird way, like the pandemic and the whole lockdown sort of situation has given us a little bit more time and sort of creative freedom to be able to sort of express ourselves a little bit more on these tracks. And I think that's also why the EP just means quite a lot to us, you know, and it's nice to have a body of work out since obviously released his debut album in 2019. So it's just nice to have it out and see that people are enjoying it, you know, and people are digging it.
Well, yeah, it's excellent. As if I've mentioned it on the show numerous times, that it's definitely worth a listen. But like in terms of like you were saying there about taking more time with the tracks, and it's really nice to hear that you can tell even from a listener's perspective that the pandemic, although it's halted a lot, like, you know, like say live shows aren't a thing anymore, but the work that you put in as well, and being able to have that time to put the extra work in, it's definitely paid off, because this EP is excellent. Like I think it's one of my favorite pieces that you've done. Obviously not taken away from the previous album or anything. I think this is just, like you say, a great step up, and the reviews you're getting as well. It must be so rewarding to read these lovely comments that are coming in.
Yeah. Sorry, it's I mean, for me, it's good to be told that like your most recent release is your best thing that you've done, because it means that we're improving, and it means that we are getting better as songwriters and performers. And I think going back to like the live show kind of thing, where at first we were a bit nervous about actually going and playing live on stage again for the first time in well over a year. And then when we got up on stage and we realized like we've been practicing for non-stop for like 12 months or longer, and we've been jamming together 3 times a week, and it just shows like we've honed in on what we do more, and we've actually focused on like the technical aspect of it, rather than just going out on stage and thrashing about and making more of a show of it. But it does feel like we are way more tighter than what we used to be, and just all around better musicians from it, I think.
Yeah, and it's all adding to it as well, isn't it? Because obviously sort of going out and doing these punky shows where we're thrashing about and joining the crowd and stuff, that's obviously, that will never be something that we don't do. We'll always do it, but it's nice that we've had this sort of time to be able to sort of perfect bits, you know, and sort of make, like, obviously improving the sound constantly and working with a new producer and stuff. So it's been a nice creative process from start to finish, really. And yeah, like obviously, like I said before, it's just nice to have that body of work out.
Yeah, no, it all sounds like it's just been such a like I keep saying, even though the pandemic has stopped us, but the you know the amount of hard work and stuff that you put in there to make this EP and to keep progressing as musicians, it's definitely paying off, because I can't see any way that it's just going to keep going up. You know what I mean? Like, it's just with each release, I'm more excited. And you're notoriously known, like, I always know you're hard work in writing music and stuff as well, and gigging constantly, which is great. It's you know that you can see that love and you know pride in what you do. So it's excellent. And again, by continuously writing and recording, producing, it's getting noticed, and it just must be so good to be now able to take these songs that you've worked on and look forward to playing them in front of a live audience. Like, I know you've done it, sorry, with the whole show, but to a local show as well in Sheffield, I can't imagine that's super exciting.
Yeah, we are just excited to get back out and play some shows, aren't we, to live audiences. And I think Hull sort of really brought that home, because we sort of played to a little sold out crowd, and it's one of those where I think we haven't played Hull for a long time, so it was nice to see that the room was full of people that were singing the songs back to us, and people. What we sort of wanted to achieve during the first lockdown was that the reason we were releasing music was because we thought that there was this sort of like empty space where people were trapped almost in the four walls, and why not give them something new to listen to? We can't come and play it to you live, but here, have this, and we'll do a little home session and sort of try and keep content coming out so that people aren't bored, and we found that a really nice process.
There's some really good themes in the new EP, I say, with everything that was going on as well during the time of its writing, and you captivated that as well in one particular music video that we ended up working together. But was that important as well, just to kind of keep the EP centered around the current affairs almost?
Yeah, I think while we didn't write like about the pandemic per se, it gave us inspiration for like what we wanted to write about. And when you're sort of in a situation, I think it does just rub off onto what you're writing about as a creative person. And I think like whilst we do sort of always sing about sort of wanting more from life than what you've got, or working towards something, I think because we are like, as a band, we're just grafters. Like, we will just work at it rather than, we're not one of those bands who just think that things are going to come to us. And that's what I think our music is about. Like, that is reflected in the music, and like it's got like anger and angst about it, but it's also like really heartfelt, and like the lyrics mean a lot to us. So when we listen back, we actually know that they mean something, rather than just singing about something random or in general.
Yeah. No, I completely, I get that completely. I hear that definitely in the work, and like you've already said, like say you're grafters, and you do put that effort in, and like I say, notoriously known for constantly working, writing, recording, touring as well. Are we expecting more new music then this year? Sorry.
We've got like music in the pipeline.
Yeah, we've got a lot of music in the works, and we're working on some pretty big projects and stuff. But whether or not we get some more new music out this year, we can't say for definite. But we'll definitely have new music out next year for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, like if we don't release something at the end of this year, it means that we've got much more content for next year, and I mean, it's all about, for us now at this point, just like building stuff up, because we feel like we're not at the top of a wave, but we're sort of getting towards where we want to be. And like, there's so much more work that needs to be done, but we're working with like more people in the industry now. It's not just me and Kyle trying to sort stuff out, and it is all sort of falling into place. And like with people like yourself, Joe, and like people showing interest in the band, it's just amazing. It's an amazing feeling to have. Yeah,
and we are so sort of proud of the stuff that we've achieved up to this point. So, and we're not going to stop. There's more that we want to aim for, and I think we're just constantly working towards those things.
Yeah, no, it's great, and I can't wait to continue watching this journey. It's been so much fun, seeing it like blossom and progress, since the early days kind of thing. I say, well, since 2014, I think it was, we started when I did my first interview with you guys. I think it was then. Yeah. Anyways, it's just great to see, and the new EP, listeners, as I say, is available now. It's definitely worth a listen, but also make sure you pick up a ticket for the 23rd of October date at Sydney Matilda, because it's going to be one heck of a night. I just want to finish on a bit of a fun question. I didn't even prep you for this, so I'm sorry. But if you could have any superpower, what would it be, and why, if you want? But yeah.
the superpower to get people to buy tickets.
How to get local people to local shows, because that's what the industry needs, and that's what the bands need. Now,
I think that is, before you do give an actual, I think they're my favorite answers, because like there's just so like, yes, like there needs to be like there needs to be like some kind of local gig man, like soaring in to like get you to come to local gigs.
That's it. We've sorted it. We don't even need to answer now. That's it. We've got the gig man power.
Yeah, local gig man, love it. Well, it's been so much fun again catching up with you. So the EP's out now, listeners. Make sure you check it. But pleasure as always to have Kyle and Ed of Perfect Parachute Picture on the show.
Thank you very much, mate. As always.